Hello and welcome to Star Citizen Sunday with me, Ryan, aka Sifu Messiah. This is a weekly show which covers everything from the world of Star Citizen over the past week. Links can be found in the description for everything we talk about in this week's show. So it will be quite a short episode this week as CIG are still on holiday. God bless them, I hope they're having a good time. They did post up some posts, especially 10 for the Chairman, amongst others, so let's get on with it. So, to my surprise, there was actually a 10 for the Chairman. I thought it would be such an easy ride this week, but no, they've released one for us, which is great. I think I've left off probably one or two questions, mainly because it's something we've seen before, so, you know, no point in saying it again. First question, how would you share information between ships? For instance, the Hornet tracker to maybe the control and command on a capital ship. Would you be able to transmit it, or can you intercept it, etc.? And Chris says that signals and signatures are determined, they have a determined broadcast range, and depending on the power of your arrays will determine how far you can actually send signals. Now, the CPU power also allows for different levels of encryption, so if you've got a better CPU, then you'll be able to encrypt your messages a lot better. Again, transmitting equipment and things like that will need better equipment, so the more you spend on your ship for this particular area, the better equipment and the better transmission strength and encryptions you'll be able to do. There will be obviously big ship stations for this where, if you'll be able to crack maybe coded channels and so forth, and then, it's going to be a mini game in itself. How in depth, I don't know, but it sounds very in depth so far. So the question after that was, how do friends jumping into NPC crew roles work? Now this is quite a complicated idea. Is what will happen is, if you hire a crew, an NPC crew, so non-playable character, they need to get paid. So they will be on your ship. Now, if you have some friends who want to play, but they don't want to go to the time of an effort of travelling halfway across the universe to get to you and all meet up at one spot, you will be able to jump in and take over that NPC's body in a way. I don't think it'll be you as in your character. I'm not sure about that. It may be, but you'll take over that body of the NPC crew, and then you will be on your friend's ship. Now, you won't get paid, and I don't think you'll reap the benefits too much of being on that ship and doing the work that you're doing together. It's more that it's a good quick way to get you together as friends on a ship. If you want to be part of a crew and work properly for that crew, you have to meet in system. It's a pretty cool little idea, but obviously, you won't get your money for it. You won't get paid. It's the NPC crew will still have to be paid once you leave again. Let me know your thoughts on that one. I like it, but I don't see why it would be an issue. I think it's really cool because, if you have someone's attacking you, you can say, right, I need help, because a real player will most likely be better than the AI. But next question is about social status and particularly citizenship. Now, citizenship is something you get if you play through the Squadron 42 campaign and complete it. You will become a citizen because you have done your military work, a bit like that film Starship Troopers, where you have to earn your citizenship. You can earn it in game doing other things, but I think that's the best way to get into the game with a citizenship. It was basically, how will it play in the persistent universe? How will your social status and citizenship? So Chris says that it's going to be quite in depth. Citizenship will allow access to certain areas that non-citizens won't have access to, but it will reverse as well, so you will not have access to certain things because you are a citizen as well. So like pirate outposts, because they won't want a citizen around. I mean, I do plan on playing through the Squadron 42 missions, so I intend to become a citizen. But it'll have swings and roundabouts. Now, they can actually track relationships between groups. So he did mention things like mercenary guilds and merchant guilds who will interact differently with you depending on your actions throughout the verse. Hopefully, it will be actions that is obviously known. So if you do something behind closed doors that no one knows about, they won't know about that, hopefully. But there will be a more in-depth reaction to your actions, I suppose. So yeah, really cool. Now, again, the next question, really cool question. How will jump point discovery work? We know how we're going to map out a jump point about flying through the jump point, but how will you find one? So the answer was, you have scanning equipment, and again, I assume that it's the more you pay for your scanning equipment, the better equipment you'll have, and maybe the more to your disposal you'll have. It's not automatic to find the things. You've got to check frequencies, so you'll have someone scanning the airwaves, trying to find anomalies in the air or in space, and then once you find something, you'll have to triangulate a point of entry. So once you've done that, you'll fly in, and it'll be part skill. He didn't say that it would be all skill, so I don't know what he means, whether he means it'll be an automatic sort of guidance or you have to fly it 100% on your own, but then you record it. And your navigation's computer, as I say, there'll be some better than others. others. It'll record it better than others. A lot to do. They said it's not properly fleshed out yet, but that's the idea of what they've got planned for it, and it sounds really cool, but really treacherous, to be honest. So the next question sort of lends on from that previous question, and it's, can someone redo or re-record a jump point to make them faster or less of a thrill ride than the original data recorded? And Chris said they've not planned that. Currently it's just there's one path, sorry, there's one plan, there's one path. But he does love the idea of this, so you can probably record it to make it more efficient, you know, quicker than just going through this long jump point that someone's recorded before. Eventually we may see that down the line. He did like the sound of it, so hopefully anyway. So the question after that was, will we see long-range weapons for attacking ships or smaller targets from a distance? For example, they gave the harpoon on the Tomahawk. And Chris says they will have long-range items once the double precision, which is the 64-bit. We're currently at 32-bit, and it's, I think the range from the central point is about 8 kilometers. Once you get out of that area, it starts getting a bit jittery and crap. Now, double precision will increase that, not by, you know, 2 times as much. It will literally increase it. I don't even know the math. He says it's going to be sort of 14 million kilometers in, you know, distance compared to 8 kilometers. I could be wrong, but it's a big difference. So once that's been implemented, then yeah, we will have different sort of technology and weapons for longer ranges. He said there's not going to be a great deal of items available because combat out of visual range is not as fun as, you know, visual range, which is, it's true, but there will be instances where you will need to use long range weapons. So there will be, but it won't be like a huge deal, you know. So the next question, one of my favourite ones, is how do you see the ship modularity taking time? For example, Arena Commander is a plug and play. You simply swap your items out and then it's done. There's no time to wait for it. And Chris said it's not decided yet. It is, as always with most things, a balance between the fun and the tedious. He says, you know, maybe it'll take a day to do a full configuration swap out of a Retaliator, you know, to change it from a military bomber to a complete hauler. So far the default is plug and play, as we know, until they've decided later down the line. He says it'll just be what feels right. He doesn't want it to be 100% accurate, because obviously if you're waiting days on end for your ship to be configured, you just won't bother, will you? You'd just buy a new ship, I would have thought. But he says it might be cool if you want something doing, or maybe you want some cargo sticking into your hull, into your cargo hold. Then he says you might be able to head to the bar, have a drink, do some shopping, you know, just sort of kill some time while they change it. And I mean, when I saw the freelancer advert or commercial, I saw the man standing there with a cup of coffee just waiting for his stuff to be loaded. I would literally take that time and stand there, go put my kettle on and have a cup of coffee while I watch them load my cargo. But I would actually do that. So to me, I want it to take a bit of time. I don't want it to, again, the balance. Some people will want it to be instant. Some people may want it, like me, to take a bit of time. Or realistic-ish time, not like days on end. But yeah, just a simple sort of maybe 4 hours in-game time, which could just be relate to an hour. I don't know, maybe that's too long. We'll see. Again, give me your thoughts on that one. I really want to know what other people think about that. But I just, on another note about that, is if it's to do with repairing as well, I think it would actually make people a little more cautious and less interested in ramming into people, which is likely to be an issue in the persistent universe. Because if they know it's going to take a long time to get their ship repaired, depending on the amount of damage, they're less likely to do it, which may be a good put-off. And also, you know, put off yourself from, you know, you'll just take more care to land or to dock with other ships. So yeah, give me your thoughts. So after that, an interesting question which does play into the whole economy is, how will the transportation of ships work? Will we need to break down the Hornets into parts and transport them as little parts to be put together once they get to the destination, or will they be transported whole? Chris says they won't be broken down. They have no plans for that. They will be taken as a whole ship. You'll need a big ship to load them onto, but you can also hire NPCs or players to take, you know, real players to take your ship to a certain area. Now, when I think about this, I kind of think, well, when it comes to the economy, a factory will make a ship. It will manufacture a ship. But then planet side, we have the ship showrooms, which need the stock there. So once a ship comes off the process line in a factory, I don't know if we'll see the factory making the ships, you know, if you can actually see it being put together. Will it then just instantly appear in the shop's inventory, or will it need to be transported to that shop in order to be put on sale? I hope it is the latter one. I would prefer it to be, you know, an actual cargo hauler, like we see on the streets, the trucks with all the cars on the back, taking them to the showrooms. I want to see that. Also, it will play into parts for pirates making, you know, hits on these ships. They'll give work to mercenaries as escorts to protect them. There's a lot of money in ships, obviously. It's probably going to be the biggest factor of the economy is buying and selling ships. So we need a real economy for that and a real process for getting ships from one place to the next. I don't want it to just be, well, that ship's made, now it's in the inventory, you know, you buy it and then it'll end up in your garage. I want it to be a full process where it has to take lots of work involved. I know. Let me know your thoughts on that one. That's quite a big question, actually. So the last question, which is a bit of a fun question, is will a merchant player be able to bribe the NPC character crew of his competitor to mutiny against the boss? So basically, if you are trying to, you know, you're competing with this merchant ship who is constantly there first, picking up all your goods, and you're getting really frustrated, can you then talk to the NPC crew of his crew and get them to mutiny against him? You know, bribe them, sort of make them join your crew. And Chris says it's a great suggestion. He'll take it under advisement, as after that you've still got a million things to do first. But down the road, he says maybe, you never know. They are going to look into morale. It's definitely, the NPC crew have definitely got hidden stats that we won't see, which are like shooting, morale, competency. It's like an AI rating, which when we go to hire someone, a bit like Grand Theft Auto, when you are planning your bank jobs, you have to pick the right crew. Some of them are bad, some of them are good, but the bad ones take a lesser cut than the good ones, which is quite natural. So we won't see these stats per se, we will just see that these want this much money and maybe they have an overall rating saying that they are this good. He also says that they will rank up. If you fight alongside an NPC wingman and he gets a lot of kills and survives over time, he will get better and he'll rank up. So it's worth taking people under the wing, you know, NPC crews. If you really want to make a go of it with these people, then you can actually build them up. He did say that they're going to look into things like morale later, and it's a big job for the AI team. So Moonglider, get on with it. Anyway, that's it for 10 for the chairman, so give me your thoughts, let's move on. So also this week we met the CIG dev Brandon Evans. This is episode 6 and he talks about his favourite food, his favourite band and so on and so forth. So if you're interested in who Brandon Evans is, check it out. There is a new galactic guide which is of the Gold Horizon mining cooperation. Now this is the setting for the FPS demo that we saw, and it sort of explains the history of Gold Horizon, what they did, and sort of how it came to its demise in I think it was 2655. Really cool post. I do love these galactic guides. They're one of my favourite posts, so definitely check that one out if you get a second. After that, we had a post called Discovered, the Journal of Wasi Prentice, I believe it is. And this is another really cool fictitious post. It's written in sort of a diary format, as this man is searching for a jump point, a specific jump point. He has a crew, and it comes to show a little secret at the end. I won't give it away, but it's something we see in the Karak mini game. So please read it. It's a really fun post. Again, they don't take too long to read. It takes me a while because I'm a slow reader, but still, it's worth reading. After that, there was a fan spotlight, which is fan art number 2, and we saw a cool sort of paint scheme for the caterpillar. Really cool. Looks like a drawn sketch of a girl in some tunnels. It looks like something out of Gotham, actually, but I don't think it is. There was also a Vandal picture. I'll show them now as we're talking about it, and some pinball art, which really cool stuff. I wish I was as talented as that. So there was an Around the Verse, but it wasn't as we know it. It was the Bloopers Volume 2. We saw one a while ago, just showing them how they all fuck up, and you know, they're only human. They may make games like gods, but they are only human, so worth a watch. And then the final post this week was the work in progress of the Cutlass variants, and I'll put some up now, some really cool pictures of the inside, of the red, of the blue, just showing you how they went through the stages of creating the actual ships. And hopefully once they get back from holiday, no rush, honestly, take your time and enjoy your holidays, they will bring out the variants for the Avenger and the Cutlass. I'm not sure how quick they'll do it, but I'm really eager to see. Well, we know the Cutlass anyway. But anyway, that was it for this week. So it was a bit of a short one this week, as there wasn't many posts up there, but we all understand why, and we're all grateful to them, so let them have their holidays. Now, I've started doing ship reviews, which you can see on my previous videos, which is only possible thanks to Robert, who has allowed me access to his account. He is a subscriber, and subscribers are the subnet of the community. I'm only joking, I'm not going to say all that. But yeah, thanks Robert, really appreciate it. There's also another person I want to shout out to, and a thank you to, is iDisorder, who gifted me a freelancer ship model for my hangar. Very cool of you, thank you so much. It was a pleasure helping you out, honestly, I enjoyed doing it. So with that said, as always, give me your thoughts on everything we've discussed. If you've got any comments or anything you want to say, let us know. We like to have a talk in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, like it if you can, and share it, and I shall see you in the verse. Thanks for watching.